How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta, and today we're going to take a look at the high-grade Universal Century Nemo, or Nemo, the mass-produced mobile suit from the anime mobile suit Zeta Gundam. When I mean by mass-produced, I mean a grunt mobile suit. For the past couple of reviews already, I've already taken a look at too many Gundams, so I thought I would take a break and just build a grunt mobile suit for a change. So taking a look at the box art, we see a bunch of Nemos, the Rick DS's, the Gundam Mark II, and the Zeta Gundam flying in the battlefield charging. Moving on to this side of the box, we see it in its action pose, showing off the articulation and the weapon layout and the hand options. Taking a look at this side of the box, we see the front and rear shot of the kit, and right over here it's a nice CG render. And if you notice that it does look similar to the box cover, but the only difference is that these two Nemos are in CG while these two are not. After opening the box, we are greeted with 3 bags of runners and a manual. Taking a look at the cover of the manual, here is the Nemo when it's all painted up, and right here we have the specs. Cracking open the manual, we have more information about the Nemo. I know it's all in Japanese, but you can always read it on the wiki if you want to. And moving on over here, we see a familiar CG render. And moving on down is an advertisement of other Gunpla kits like the GM family. And moving on further down is another advertisement of more Zeta kits. Checking the parts list, looks like we're going to be using all of them except we have a bunch of leftover polycaps. And looks like we have some leftover hand options as well. Okay, I think I get it now because the ones that are crossed out, the leftover parts, they're the dark gray or gray back hand covers because the Nemo comes in green hand covers. Checking the back of the manual, we see a new pose of the Nemo. We already saw these 2 familiar images and it's already showing off the articulation. And yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the hand covers. And right down there is the color guide if you're planning on painting it. Starting off with runner A1. Now on camera, it looks like it's dark gray, but if you have it in your hands, it almost looks like a very, very dark blue. Runners B1 and B2 are going to be the green parts and they're going to share this chunk of a runner. Runners C1 and C2 are going to be the gray parts and C2 and C1 are going to share this chunk of a runner. Runner D is going to be the yellow parts and runner E is going to be the clear orange parts. Next up you have the hand option parts, which are used to some GM kits back in the 2010s. You got green beam saber effect parts. Finally you have a big polycab runner and a relatively sized sticker sheet. Right, so that's about it for the unboxing, and as you can tell, it's going to be a very quick build, and I want to know, after 10 years, does this kit age well? We'll find out during the review, and I'll see you guys after the build. There we have the Nemo all put together, and I gotta say, putting this kit was actually very simple. The out-of-box presentation is almost pretty good, and when I mean by almost, I mean boatload of stickers, and which I'm going to go through right now. Starting with the head, this silver sticker goes behind the clear orange piece, but instead I use silver paint instead. This metallic green sticker goes onto the forehead, while the other green sticker goes onto the back of the head. Moving on to the shoulders, these 2 stickers goes to this part right here, one on each side. Of course, going back to the head one last time, I forgot to say you can either have this red or yellow sticker go onto this part of the forehead. This sticker right here goes onto the lower part of the torso. I had to pop off the head for this because this gray sticker right here goes onto the neck right here, even though if you put it on, no one's really gonna see it. These 2 gray stickers are gonna go onto the wrist, one on each side. Just to get this out of the way, yeah, working with dark plastic does show off some bad nub marks, so I should probably take care of it better. Here's an interesting one. It takes 4 stickers to wrap around like the red around it, but you can leave like the gray part alone. So it's these stickers, these ones, and that one. Just gonna have to pay attention what spot it goes to. These little red stickers are gonna go onto the side of the legs, 2 on each leg. Finally, this little red metallic sticker is gonna go onto the camera right here. So you might be asking, well, what about these 4 stickers? Well, yeah, it does go on the Nemo. However, it goes onto the other variation. It's the Nemo with the desert colors. That is when you can apply these stickers onto the shoulder. However, on this version, you don't have to. It's totally up to you if you want to apply these or not. Moving on to seamlines, you do have one that's going up and down onto the head, and you also have this very common one that goes onto the shoulder and onto the torso. Onto the arms. Now, this one can go as a detail, but if you rotate it, there is a seamline right over here. But that's gonna be it for the out-of-the-box presentation. So overall, yeah, it does look pretty promising. Everything went well together. So far, it's been pretty solid. And yeah, I already mentioned about the nub marks, and yeah, it is pretty bad. Maybe I just need a new standing stick or something. I'm gonna be working on this kit, and I'll see you guys right after. After a little bit of work, here is what the Nemo looks like. I did some little bit of detail painting, pen and lining, put some water slide decals, and a bit of weathering as well. Just to give you a few tips, and these tips involve masking tape. First off, I would advise to put masking tape on the clear orange piece, because to me, when you spray a flat top coat on a clear piece, it doesn't really look good. And another one, if you want to do like a clean build, make sure you put the masking tape like around this little detail so you can easily paint over it, which I did not, but since I am planning on weathering this kit, well, a little bit of weathering, it doesn't look half bad. Moving on with accessories, starting off with hand options. As you can see on the kit, we have 2 closed fists, and next up we have 2 of the beam saber holding hands, 2 open palm hands, and 1 trigger finger hand for the right side. And since we're on a trigger finger hand, here is the beam rifle, and the handle does swing side to side. Next up, you have its shield. Now, the shield is cool and all, but my only complaint, but this is just a little nitpick, it's just that it could have been a little bit thicker. Like, if you look at it from the side, it looks pretty thin. Now, I just wish it was just a millimeter like wider and a little thicker. Also have this adapter piece which you can attach to the side of the arm or under the arm, and to collapse it, you're just going to pull this out and move this tab down here, which make it look like it is collapsed. Finally, you have 2 beam saber effect parts, and the beam saber handles are located on the back skirt. Now moving on to articulation, the head is on a double ball joint. Moving on to the shoulder, it is on a ball joint as well. It can go up this far, and you do get a bicep swivel. Then on the elbow, 90 degrees, wrist is on the ball joint. And moving on to the torso, it is on a ball joint like right up here, so you do get like a little bit of movement. The front skirt can move out this far, the side skirt can move out just a little bit, and it's on a little bit of rotation as well. And as for the back skirt, it does not move. Moving on to the legs, it can move forward this high, can move back this far. You get a bicep swivel, bend at the knee, and here's where it gets interesting on the lower leg. Now look closely, it can swing like forward and back just a little bit. You also get a ball joint on the ankle, and you get a flip-flop joint. So as for the pivot, doesn't look too bad. Oh, and I also forgot to mention the ankle armor can move up and down ever so slightly. And moving on to the backpack, the thrusters are on the ball joint, but they barely move. Well, the articulation on this kit is actually not bad. It is what I expect from a grunt mobile suit. Just don't expect crazy dynamic posing. Moving on to size comparisons, starting off with the standard size RX-78-2, and as you can see, the Nemo is slightly taller than the regular Gundam, which is pretty interesting if you ask me. Next up, here it is right next to the Zeta Gundam and the Gundam Mark II, and wow, they look good together. And even though I haven't built the HGUC yet, if I put the HGUC in there, it would look great. And since the Zeta Gundam is taller than the Nemo and the Gundam Mark II, no big surprise here. Finally, here it is right next to Optimus Prime, Godzilla, and a newcomer, Lego Batman. So that's gonna be it for the size comparisons. Let's move on to my final thoughts. Moving on to my final thoughts. Overall, really nice kit. The question is, after 10 years, does this kit age pretty well? I think so. Also have to deal with the fact that the out-of-box presentation is not the best, but on the bright side, if you're planning to do some detail work, it's not a big deal. Now, some of you may ask, am I gonna get the unicorn version of this kit? Well, knowing that it is a really nice kit and also comes with another weapon, I think I might pick that one up. So let's wrap up the review right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. questions, concerns, comment down below, leave a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm curious, is there a builder out there who painted this Nemo in Nemo's colors?